Hey, Sean O'Rourke here. Looking at another manga today, and today we're looking at Chainsaw Man. And I just sat here and looked through the chapter, reacted to the entire thing, and then looked over to my recording and realized I forgot to actually hit the button. So this is just going to be my review of Chainsaw Man Chapter 81. Gonna get out here right in the front here and say this is a 9 out of 10 for me. Um, Coming off of like chapter 79, where you had the whole culmination or climax rather of Aki versus Denji, where Denji had to kind of take Aki out because it was either that or Denji's gonna die or the civilians are gonna get killed. And we had that whole scene where the civilians are actually like, letting Denji bite them and like pouring blood into them from their arms. And, end result, he had to kill Aki. And then 80, I gave a 7, specifically because I felt like, it was a transition chapter. I liked how everything was building up to the next event. However, it was, after coming off of 79, it's hard not to take a tiny bit of a hit, especially when most of it was just dealing with Makima just wrapping Denji around her finger more so than it already is. And I had mused prior to reading this that I thought possibly we're going to go to one of those other characters like Kashimbi, the guy with the glass jaw smile, if I'm saying his name correctly, that previously we had seen in other chapters. This guy that, if you don't remember, beyond the glass jaw smile, he also trained Denji in power to become stronger, and he's been involved in a few of these arcs now. With the most previous one with Quan Chi, he was like talking to them about taking out Makima, and then we know what happened with that. didn't happen. So he must know she's the control devil or involved in some capacity. And clearly that's not where we ended up going. We stayed in Makima's apartment, and we have this whole stuff with Denji being super submissive. She's saying, "Oh, you want to be my dog? Give me your paw." He does it. She tells him to, roll over, and he rolls over, and stand, and he stands. And I wonder if that is him just being Denji. I'm following Makima's orders because I'm in love with her, or, I want to do everything she says because I'm sick of thinking for myself, which he says in this chapter. Thinking that he is the cause of Aki's death, when in reality, the person you are talking to, Denji, caused all these fucking dominoes to tumble to your misery. Where was I going with that? So I don't know if that's, because she started basically trying to do, from my perspective, some kind of ritual, or basically make the contract with him, unbeknownst to him, with the control devil, to do her every action that she tells him to do. So I wonder if he's just doing that, like I was saying, because Denji is in love with her, or if that is because of her power. And I guess we'll find out next chapter, because the way that this one ends, we get the doorbell rings and it's power. And, thinking back to the Future Devil's prediction that it gave Aki about how Denji was going to kill him and power. And, Aki's been killed, and we get this shot in this chapter of that door that Denji saw in that dream before he opened the door that, that led to Aki coming in and that whole fight happening. And, you think about him seeing this in his mind's eye, and, you think the first time that happens, okay, that was a weird dream, whatever. And then, the stuff with Aki happens, and now maybe Denji's like, shit, maybe that was a premonition. It happens a second time, and it's like, come on, Denji. I mean, I get it. It is Denji. Like, again, he's very vulnerable. He's not necessarily... he's not playing with a full deck, if you will, at the moment. He's going through some shit, and I don't think that hits him maybe as much as it should, because he goes and he opens the door anyway. Makima says, "Oh, I can't open it. You have to open it." And I wonder if that has something to do with her power, or if it's just to make Denji feel guilty more because he is the one opening the door. Because we find out that it's power at the door. And Denji's even thinking to himself, I'm going to read it from the page. It's this great panel of him like putting his hand closer and closer to the door. And he's saying, when I open the door, power will be there smiling. She'll pull a party popper and she'll be holding a cake. And, huh? Why should she have a cake? Oh, duh, because tomorrow's my birthday. And, this is all like running through his mind, and we get this shot of Power with the cake, with the cards. That's happy 17th birthday, Denji, which I did forget he was that young. I know that's like a thing usually in these series, but considering some of the stuff that's happened in this so far, that's something I tend to forget. Of course, we go to the next page, and Makima coming up from behind Denji, who is now processing this situation, just ray guns, if you will. Power blowing her entire torso up to here and just leaving like her waist essentially and her legs to hit the floor. And there's this like impact crater in the wall with blood splattering. And, of course, Makima, bang, has to, throw that in there to really sell it home. And does that mean Power's dead? Is that part of the Future Devil's prediction? Like, does that count in the context of like, oh, well, Aki's gonna die and Power's gonna die at the Chainsaw Devil's hands, but like, could Power come back from this? Are we gonna have two Powers? Like, are we gonna have some wacky shit like, oh, one grew out of her head, one grew out of her waist? Is it just they're gonna reform with the blood? Is she gonna just grow out of the legs? Is another character gonna show up and heal her? Is she just dead? Honestly, I hope she's not, and I think that's why I'm trying to come up with every excuse in the Chainsaw Man book, if you will. To see that she survives this, because I think Denji really needs her, and she is the second most important character in this story, and the one we've kind of learned the most about. I mean, we had all that stuff where she was afraid of the Darkness Devil. We spent a chapter or two on that. The stuff with her cat earlier on in the series. Like, if anybody else was to die besides Aki, Power would be the next one that I would hope that wouldn't die. And I think, what am I trying to say here? Obviously, Aki, Denji, and Power are the three main characters, and we just lost Aki. I don't want to see another one go and leave Denji by himself when he clearly needs friends. So I think Power is going to survive this somehow, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And, Denji witnessing this all. Makima just nonchalantly walking up and essentially just obliterating his best friend. Is he gonna listen to her? He just went through this whole, I'm gonna be your dog, I'm gonna do that and the other thing for you, and then she does this. I don't know. That's why I think next chapter we're gonna find out if her powers are working, or if that was just him just, regular old Denji just reacting to Makima's every order. And then we also had that callback right at the end of the chapter here to Denji's hands being cold, which I think is saying something to the audience. It almost looks like some of Power's blood got in his mouth as he's like standing there appalled, while Akima is just, staring. Fujimoto really draws these eyes in a way that hits you deep in the soul, not necessarily in a good way. She is a seductress, especially for poor Denji here. And, we even see Power here, legs on the ground, breaking through a panel here with the head in between them in a really disgusting display. And I'm not really sure what's going to happen next. I'm assuming we're going to go next chapter to see the follow-up from this now. I'd be shocked if we went somewhere else after this just happened. And are we gonna see Denji versus Makima? Is he going to go in there and just sit down on the couch and have tea? And, be a ball of fucking emotion in his stomach. I thought Makima was going to be like our end boss. And maybe she still will. Who's to say he doesn't fight her and she gets the hell out of there, or she defeats him and then she goes into hiding, and, who knows? I don't know. But killing Power like that, if Power is actually dead, that tells me the series is not going to be that much longer. Because, like, I guess it could be. But, wow. I really wish my reaction recorded, but user error, so I can only blame myself. Again, 9 out of 10. Really good chapter, but it was a little telegraphed. We had already known that Power was going to die, or at least was predicted to die, and after Aki's death in 79, I think that's trying to tell us, the reader, something, that this future devil is not to be trifled with. But she could be dead and come back. She's a devil, or a fiend, or whatever the hell you want to call her. Devil kind, demon kin. And that's about all I got to say. So that's my review of Chainsaw Man number 81, chapter 81, Paw. Give me your paw. Creepy ass shit, man. I've been Sean O'Rourke. Thanks for watching.